Welcome, everybody, to episode 6 of Andrew's Sports Zone. I'm Andrew, and this is my father, Peter.
Hi, everyone.
We're glad to be back. Last week, we had some fun. It was our worst week of NFL picks, but hopefully we're going to be better this week. Yeah, we'll get to that later. But right now, we'll start at how we usually do and go into a little roundup of what we did and then into a weekly roundup of Beverly sports. Both of us worked the varsity football game on Friday night. My dad here did the camera and I did the player statistics. You might have heard me on the broadcast. That was pretty fun to do.
It was fun. I was on like the dolly camera, and that was kind of cumbersome, a little more cumbersome than I thought. When I saw it done last week, I thought it would be fun, but it's kind of on the sideline, and you can get people walking in front of you, and it is kind of a big, heavy thing to move from one end of the track to the other to get right down there. But I think it's a great idea, but I think they've got to make it a more mobile type setup. But I do have fun at those football games, and we can talk about the results.
Yeah, I was watching the recap of that game, and I did see some good shots from you. A couple touchdowns from Xavier Ock and Callan McKay. You had those good shots, so you did do a good job. I did see what you meant though. Our friend from the Salem News, Phil Stacy, was in your frame a bit walking down the field. I saw that.
Yeah, but I did hear that the viewers did like that view, so they'll probably continue something like that when there's other night games at the field.
Much better improvement from last year. So both of us worked the boys' soccer game on Monday. They had another win against... I forget what team that was.
We've got it down here later.
Yeah, we'll get it down later.
Our memories are so good. It's been a busy week.
It has been a busy week, yes.
And before we forget, we're filming here on Thursday, October 9th.
October 9th. We are filming this. I did some color commentary for field hockey on Tuesday, some girls soccer on Wednesday, and I'm scheduled for field hockey on Friday, so it's been a busy couple weeks for me. And then you too, you did yesterday you did the city council bridge meeting, and that
was my first foray into the public channel or the government channel of BevCam, but did a public meeting.
Yeah, and both of us are scheduled to work this Saturday morning on the varsity football game. So if you want to see a good broadcast, you tune into that one.
Back to Herd Stadium.
3 straight home games, and this one's back at Herd Stadium. So now we'll get into our weekly roundup, starting with boys varsity football. Friday on the 3rd of October, they won 28-27 at home against Danvers in an important league game. Senior Callan McKay caught 2 touchdown passes from Daniel Pierce. Xavier Ock ran back an interception and a punt for 2 touchdowns. Charlie Foss made the game-saving tackle on a 2-point conversion try with about 1 minute left to play.
Ooh, that was getting close at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And the team is 2-1 in league play and 4-1 overall. This is their first time in 9 seasons that Beverly has put together a 4-game winning streak. Their next game is 11 a.m. on Saturday, October 11th at Herd Stadium. That's against Marblehead. That's the one we're going to cover. And we covered the first game of the season, the away game against Gloucester, and I did mention that this Beverly team was looking for their first above 500 season since 2018, and they're definitely on pace. I believe if they win one more game, they'll be 500.
Oh, good.
But 2 more, then they'll be above 500. So great job to the Beverly football team this year.
They are looking good, and their play calling is looking a lot better. They're doing a lot of more passing plays, as you mentioned on several occasions. So
I've always mentioned I always wanted Beverly to pass. Being a former member of the team, you just see how good Pierce's arm is, and then there's so many receivers getting involved this year. And those touchdowns went to Callan McKay last game, but I did hear someone at my school over talking about that. I think Floyd White is only 1 touchdown away from the school record, so that's exciting to see.
That is exciting.
We'll see if he breaks it this Saturday. And you want to move into some girls soccer?
Yeah, well, I should mention as well, we've had some beautiful evenings and some beautiful afternoons for covering all these sports games. We've gotten really lucky, But on to girls soccer. On Wednesday last week when we were filming, they were playing, and they had a 0-3 loss at Masconomet. On Saturday, according to the Salem News, it looks like that game against Haverhill was canceled. So I don't know any reason for that. If you knew about anything about that,
it just said it was canceled. Maybe weather. Who knows?
I don't know what the reason for that was. But then on Monday, on the 6th, they had the 4-0 win at Salem. Genevieve Bellotti netted a pair of goals. Jaden Simpson had a goal with an assist, and Olivia Alcatel also scored. with that 4-0 win at Salem. And then on Wednesday, just yesterday, they had a 2-1 win at home against Marblehead. Marblehead scored first, but then Olivia Anketel finished with a cross from Addie Abel and to tie the game. And then freshman Jaden Simpson converted a penalty kick in the second half to break the tie and carry the Panthers to the victories.
Yeah, I was covering that game, so I got to see the excitement. And my coworker Al Visnick, he said out of all the high school soccer games he's seen, that was a pretty good one, and that's good to see because I have heard from my other coworker Rich that Al is very experienced in soccer, and that was a very good game. And I hope you enjoyed our coverage last night. I'll move into some volleyball. On Thursday, the 2nd of October, they had a 3-1 win against Winthrop. Riley McDonald had 8 kills, Lydia Miedema had 8 aces, and Sophia Balducci had 14 digs. On Monday, the 6th, they had a 1-3 loss against Danvers. The Panthers got 8 blocks from Lydia Miedema. Thea Pisani Gross and Sophia Balducci passed well during that match. And Wednesday, yesterday, they had a 0-3 loss against Masco. Thea Pisani Gross and Victoria Malumba played well in that loss. Their next game is this Friday, at October 10th at Revere. This team is 6-7 in league play and 6-8 overall. But even with the losing record, they do have a better record than last year.
Oh, good.
And it's just on the up and up with head coach Beth Harmon going into next year.
They don't look bad at all. The games I've seen, they've looked pretty good, and a couple have just slipped out of their hands. But
they do not look bad at
team.
all. They just it's a competitive team, much better than last year because they only had 4 wins last year. So it's good to improve. We'll move into girls field hockey
Girls
with
field
you.
hockey, yeah. Last Friday, the 3rd, they had a 0-3 loss away against Masconomet. I probably say that wrong every single time.
I just say Masco. It's pretty easy to just say Masco.
Yeah. Forgive my pronunciation of that. Charlotte Stevens turned away 9 shots in the net for Beverly in that loss. So some good goalkeeping at least. On Tuesday, the 7th, there was a 5-2 win at home against Wampscott. Fiona Bazin scored twice. Also, Maddie LeBlanc, Ashley Wallace, and Lily Scott also scored for Beverly, and that was the game that you were commenting with Al, and that was where I was going around with my GoPro trying to take a kind of a behind-the-scenes shots of a BevCam sports production, so we'll see if that ever reaches the public, but I think my pilot attempt at it came out pretty good. I want to show you and show everyone and see if maybe we can play that at like half times of the football game or something.
Yeah, that was pretty cool to see, and that was Matt, I was covering that with it, and you just saw the backup, and hopefully it's pretty cool. So tune into that one.
But I digress. Yeah, the team is 6-3 in league play and 7-4-1 overall. Their next game is Friday, October 10th at home against Danvers. So go ahead with the boys soccer. All right,
yeah. Moving on to our really good
soccer.
Boys soccer team. They unfortunately got their first loss of the year on Wednesday, October 1st against Masco. That was 0-3. Before that, they had produced 41 goals in their first 9 contests, and they were top 5 in rankings according to the MIAA, and then they were the number 1 ranked team in Massachusetts according to Max Preps. But Max Preps isn't always accurate, but it's still pretty impressive to be in that range. But unfortunately, that loss to Masco kind of moved them down to like number 7, number 9 range. Okay. But they're still a really good team. On Saturday, they had a 2-0 win against Andover on senior night. Goals by sophomores Jackson Merritt and Isaac Esquincala. On Monday, the 6th, they had a 5-0 win against Salem. This was the game I covered with Rich. Al. The game was scoreless in the first half. That was really surprising to both of us. But then the Panthers turned it on in the second half with a hat trick from sophomore Jackson Merritt, and goals by junior Connor Sullivan and senior Dino Barrick. On Wednesday, they had a 2-1 win at Marblehead. The Panthers were down at halftime, but got second half scores from senior Dino Barrick and sophomore Isaac Esquincala. Their team is now 10-1 in league play and 12-1 overall. Their next game is Wednesday, October 15th at home against Peabody. And me and Al were talking about this yesterday, but that win for the Panthers, this Marblehead team was the toughest team they were going to face within their last league matches, and they're in a great position to get their second straight NEC title. So So good luck to the boys, and hopefully they can wrap it up because it's been an incredible season for them.
I should mention, though, the Salem News had them having one tie at some point, so I don't know if that might have been a mistake with the Salem News. But looking at the other scores keeping site that I always check and that the athletic director told me about, that has them at being 10-1 and 12-1 overall. So I hope that's accurate. Either way, they bounced back from that loss, and congratulations to them. And we'll see how they do in the upcoming playoffs.
Big congratulations, and they're definitely in the Massachusetts tournament this year. And just to mention that as well, the girls soccer team with that win against Marblehead yesterday, I think they did clinch their way into that tournament as well, because they'll be exactly 500 or better now with that win. So good job for both of our soccer teams this year, the best of our sports this fall season. And do you want to move on?
It's all going too fast. All these sports going too fast.
Yeah, much too fast.
And speaking of fast and ending, what do you want to? Should we go right into baseball or start off with our football again?
Oh yeah, let's talk about baseball because the season's wrapping up. We have plenty of football season left to talk about.
Since we last met, right? The Red Sox had made the playoffs.
Yeah. So our last episode, I believe the Red Sox had just clinched their way into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that series was a weird one. So we won Game 1 off the pitching from Garrett Crochet. I think it was a 3-1 win. Good pitching from both sides. And Game 2, it was close. It was a 4-3 loss, but it was surprising because we saw Brian Bayo get taken out of the game really early, and our bullpen did play well, but unfortunately Garrett Whitlock, our usually reliable setup man, he just wasn't there for that game and let up a couple runs late in the game, I believe the 8th, and he lost this Game 2. And then Game 3 we got shut down by Yankees rookie pitcher Cam Schittler, I believe it is, and it was interesting for Schittler because he was one of those players in the Northeastern versus Boston Red Sox the preseason game, the spring training. Okay. He was a pitcher for Northeastern, and he actually pitched a shutout inning against the Red Sox in that game.
Oh, I heard about that.
It was kind of like maybe like a little preview, and then he shut us down. I believe 14 strikeouts against us, and that was a bad loss. But recently, as we're filming this yesterday, the Yankees did just get kicked out of the playoffs by the Toronto Blue Jays 3-1. So we kind of we get it back. We wanted them. Nobody likes the Yankees here in New England.
And we're laughing at the little sports clip where they got Big Pappy in the same studio with Jeter and A-Rod. He's going, the Yankees lose, the Yankees lose. He's so funny.
Yeah. And that was really funny. And it's an interesting series is coming up. I'm not really caught up on the National League series, but I know the Detroit Tigers just hung in there. The Seattle Mariners lead that series 2-1 now. I think they have a game tonight. They can finish it off. And the Dodgers and the Phillies, I believe, are going to Game 4. And the Cubs just won Game 3, and they will be going to Game 4 too. And both of those series are 2-1. Dodgers leading 2-1, and the Brewers leading 2-1. And I think the Brewers are the favorite going into the World Series. I think it'll be an interesting matchup if we see that Brewers-Dodgers series. And I think it'll be definitely like Blue Jays Mariners. It's cool for baseball.
I like
but
the Blue Jays. Yeah.
Yeah, you just kind of miss your home team. And
I'll be completely honest. I mean, it's Andrew Sports Zone. We talk about the sports, but personally, from my perspective, I don't care. Once your team is out in baseball, once your team's gone, you don't care about the rest of the season.
That's what I've been thinking.
Football's
too.
different. You're always excited about football, but baseball.
That's definitely what I've been thinking too, because I haven't really tuned into any ALDS or NLDS games since the Red Sox have lost. But I have checked the scores, and I'm proud to see the Yankees get knocked out. being the Boston fan I am. Yeah. But now we'll move on to some football. Week 5 just wrapped up a couple days ago. Week 6 starts today. We're filming this on Thursday, October 9th. That's the New York Giants. I believe it's in Philadelphia. So the Giants versus the Eagles. So that'll be interesting.
It's got Philadelphia at the Giants.
Oh, Philadelphia. Yeah, my bad. Yeah. I forgot about that. But that'll be an interesting matchup. We'll talk about that later in our picks. But just go through the Week 5 results, and then maybe we can go back and forth on what we thought about each game. San Francisco beat the Los Angeles Rams 26-23 in overtime. The Vikings beat the Cleveland Browns in the second straight game across seas, and this time it was in London. They beat the Browns 21-17. Houston crushed Baltimore 44-10. The Panthers had an upset over Miami 27-24. Indianapolis crushed Las Vegas 40-6. The Saints beat the Giants in another upset, 26-14. The Dallas Cowboys beat the New York Jets, 37-22. The Denver Broncos, yet another upset. So many upsets. We'll talk about that later. But the Denver Broncos beat the Philadelphia Eagles, 21-17, and another one. The Tennessee Titans beat the Arizona Cardinals, 22-21. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Seattle Seahawks, 38-35. The Detroit Lions beat the Cincinnati Bengals 37-24. The Washington Commanders beat the Los Angeles Chargers 27-10. The New England Patriots beat the Buffalo Bills 23-20. And the Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Kansas City Chiefs 31-28. And maybe you want to go through your thoughts of each game here.
Well, let's see how we did with our picks last week.
Oh yeah, we
I last week.
Oh, this is bad.
Was 3-11.
Oh
so
man. Yeah, but
that's about as bad as you can get with football picks.
We had such a good start to the year too, where we're like bragging like we're better than some analysts and some radio guys. But then we've had a bad couple.
There were a lot of upsets
bad couple
this
weeks.
But
yeah, I went 5-9, and it's just crazy going from perfect on Sunday and just missing the primetime games to going 3-13 total.
But plot out my wins, and you'll see it drop off a cliff. But let us never speak of that again.
Yeah, hopefully we're going to be better this week. But I'll give my thoughts, and we can go back and forth on these games.
How about that Thursday night game? I didn't watch it closely,
yeah,
but that was quite exciting.
I didn't watch it closely either, but I saw the recap, and it was pretty exciting. I kind of tuned it out when it was 23-20. With the 49ers leading, and Kyron Williams fumbled at the goal line. I thought that was the game over. But then suddenly it's a 3-and-out. Mac Jones is not able to move the San Francisco offense. And then the Rams score a quick field goal to tie it up. So I was surprised. I didn't know it went into overtime until the next morning when I woke up. And then I saw the Los Angeles wasn't able to do anything in overtime. And then San Francisco went down, kicked a field goal after the Rams got the ball first because they changed the rules. So instead of just the playoffs where each team gets the ball, it's regular season games now. That's how we saw the tie in
it's good
Dallas.
that they're giving both teams the ball now. I love that.
Yeah, it was surprising to see Mac Jones do so good. I thought the Rams were going to win this game pretty easily against basically the San Francisco 49ers.
Everybody is injured on the 49ers.
Yeah, it was like going against a JV team kind of, but yeah, the Rams were not able to squeak that out. Moving on to Minnesota-Cleveland, this was an interesting game. Cleveland led for most of this one, I believe, but Minnesota does have some late-night heroics from Carson Wentz, and Jordan Addison had the game-winning touchdown, I believe. Okay. And it was just a good team play, good defensive battle. And Dylan Gabriel did look good through 2 passing touchdowns in his debut for Cleveland, so he looks like a good spot. And they recently traded Joe Flacco to the Bengals for, I believe it was like a 5th round pick. So
and there's our siren that comes.
There's our daily siren. But and Cleveland does look good. I think I think they'll win a couple more games. They definitely won't be the worst. And what did you think about these next 2 games? Houston, Baltimore, Carolina, Miami.
Oh, this really stumped me, boy. This especially the score, 44 Houston 44, Baltimore 10. I mean, that was not expected. And Baltimore is having a tough season now. They're 1-4. They've got Lamar Jackson is injured, and I think he's out again this Sunday.
Yeah, I saw reports that he has missed like 7 practices in a row, or maybe not that much, but like 6-ish. And yeah, he's doubtful for this week. So I think I'll be picking against the Ravens again this week when they come out. I probably will as
well. And each week I'm bad mouthing C.J. Stroud, but what did he get? 4 touchdowns last Sunday.
Great job from him.
I just can't put my finger on these games. This is why I'm 3-11.
Yeah, and I saw a funny little play from that game. I'm not sure why the Baltimore defender did it, but it was like a rookie's first touchdown, and then the 2 players like went in a circle battling for the ball. I'm not sure what that was for, but that was funny to see. But moving on to that Carolina-Miami game, what did you think about that?
I think I had picked Miami to win that one, thinking they can't be that bad, but they're in for a long season if they keep losing to everything. Carolina, I was checking. I was taking notes earlier, but the day just got busy, and so I couldn't refresh my memory on exactly what happened. It's just I think Miami, especially their coach, is going to be on the hot seat pretty soon.
Yeah, definitely. I heard something on the radio about maybe they can't fire him because of the Brian Flores lawsuit, but maybe they'll just clear that anyways. Because Mike McDaniel is just not not a good piece for this Miami team. And with the loss to Tyreek Hill, they just really struggled on offense. They did have a good game from Jalen Waddle, but yeah. And moving on to this Indianapolis-Las Vegas game, Indianapolis continues a really good offense. I don't know if this is accurate right now, or maybe they punted a bit more, but they did only have one punt going into like week 4, I believe. And yeah, it's just good part. Daniel Jones is doing a really good job in that offense, and Jonathan Taylor, another 3 touchdowns. That's the second game with 3 touchdowns. I believe 6 touchdowns in 2 games. A fantasy god Jonathan Taylor is right now. But and yeah, he's a really good running back, one of the best right now.
Yeah, and like I mentioned last week, those are my 2 other favorite teams I like to watch this year. Indianapolis and Las Vegas.
I really like watching.
Geno Smith is just read what he's got, like 6 touchdowns and 9 interceptions.
Yeah, he's not having a good season.
They got to kind of look at that.
Yeah, and New Orleans, New York Giants. You made a good point. This was the week to pick New Orleans if you wanted to pick them, and that came into fruition because the New Orleans Saints were just the better team today. Jackson Dart did look okay in the first half, but then started to turn over. I believe he had 2 interceptions to Saints cornerback Kool-Aid McKinstry, but the Saints offense looked good. They had that big breakaway touchdown from Rashid Shaheed, and Spencer Rattler surprisingly looks good. I don't think the Saints are as bad as people think. I think definitely the worst team in the NFL is this one coming up.
They're not going to get they're not going to get too many wins, but
they don't look as bad as I thought. And moving on to this Dallas New York Jets game, this one, the New York Jets just continue to struggle. Probably the worst team in the NFL right now, but they do not look like it. It's just surprising they're so bad. Justin Fields does look good, but it's just a trend for Jets games that they mostly score in garbage time.
I've got Garrett Wilson on my fantasy team, and he's my garbage touchdown, garbage points guy.
And Justin Fields too, the garbage points, the merchants right there. But yeah, Dallas wins this one. A good games from George Pickens and Javonte Williams again.
Have you been following when CeeDee Lamb's coming back?
Yeah, I have him on my fantasy team, unfortunately, after trading for him. And I think he is coming back next week. I don't think he's coming back this week. Within the next 2 weeks, they said. So that's going to be exciting to see.
We'll keep an eye out for him.
This Denver-Philadelphia game, this was really surprising. Philadelphia does not seem like the team they were last year. They definitely have a struggling defense. I saw a post on Instagram today that their defensive coordinator might be in the hot seat, which I can understand. Their defense isn't that great, but the Broncos' offense isn't great either. But this was a really defensive battle between 2, I believe, like top 10 defenses, and it was just good to see. And yeah, Denver caught the upset on that one. And this next one, I want to talk to together. This Tennessee-Arizona game. This was one of the craziest games I think the NFL has probably ever had. So I first want to talk about that drop touchdown on the sideline. Not the sideline, the goal line.
Oh, DeMarcado.
Yeah, Amari DeMarcado had about a 72-yard rush. And it was one of those situations where he kind of was too excited and maybe wanted to flaunt it a bit. And he dropped the ball at the goal line, and his coach got really mad at him, Jonathan Gannon. And if you've seen the video, you should search it up. But his coach went on the sideline, kind of hit him, and at a confrontation, he was fined $100,000. So it was interesting. But it was also funny that they had a play. So Arizona, they still had a lead pretty late in the game, and they had an interception of Cam Ward. But the Arizona defender fumbled the ball, and then none of the Arizona players could recover it. Then the Tennessee player, I think it was Calvin Ridley or someone like that, he got it in the end zone, and then it was a touchdown, and they took a lead. I believe it was a very crazy game.
Arizona does not. It's like they don't want to win games. They can have big leads, or they just don't do it right, man. That's got to be frustrating. Be a fan of theirs.
Yeah, agreed. It's really frustrating. Moving on to this Tampa Bay Seattle game. Every game with Tampa Bay really is a really good one. They really good offense for Tampa Bay, and they won this game. Baker Mayfield's one of the most clutch quarterbacks in the NFL. So it was that was a fun game to watch. You always like to see a game that has a lot of scoring in it. And moving on to this Detroit-Cincinnati game, this one was surprising, because I thought Detroit's defense would be a little bit better against the Cincinnati team. But Cincinnati did try to come back in the fleeting moments. But I think this was definitely the last week for Jake Browning through, I believe, 3 interceptions. It just didn't look good at all in that first half. And then
We've got this flying around.
This fly is crazy. But Detroit's offense continues to look good. Sam Laporta got his first touchdown of the year, and you want to talk about these next two games?
It's taken that long for him to get his first one.
Just recently.
Let's see. Let's see. Well, I'm going to skip ahead to this Buffalo New England one again. That was the one where I said like the Bills. They are the strongest team in the NFL. I'm biased because I'm a Bills fan. But I said, every once in a while they can slip or not fully show up to the game. This one they were kind of there, but they had penalties and then turnovers and things, and New England ended up beating them. Not to take away from New England because they are starting to look better. Drake May is looking really good. Their offense is looking good. The Buffalo defense is how it is. You can get through them pretty quickly, but that's a fun game to watch. I do have to mention Josh Allen. That guy is always that arm, man. He could just be running around scrambling and throw like kind of a sidearm thing that goes 70 yards down the field.
It was a very good game. It was very, very boring in the first half, surprisingly.
It was boring in the first half.
3-3, I believe, going into halftime, but then it picked up 20 points from New England and 17 from Buffalo, and it was a very good game. Buffalo just didn't look good in the.
But I mentioned Josh Allen because they show him sitting on the sideline. He's just like cool and calm as a cucumber. He goes, no matter what happens, I'm going to come back.
It's fun to watch.
Didn't happen this time.
It's fun to watch those quarterbacks. Moving on to this Jacksonville Kansas City game. This one was surprising to me. If you haven't seen the clip, this one was a crazy ending. So Trevor Lawrence tripped on the leg of his center or his guard, and then he was on the ground. But some good blocks on the edge for his offensive lineman, and he was able to get up and dive into the end zone for a touchdown and a walk-off win that ended up being the defining moment in the score.
I think that also saved me in my fantasy this week because I was just against Travis Etienne, and he was about to hand it off to Travis Etienne, perhaps for a touchdown and enough points for my opponent to have won the week. But him falling down, but then getting back up and getting in, all the better.
It was a fun game though. Patrick Mahomes does look good this year. He's my fantasy quarterback, and it's good to see a quarterback 3. And the Chiefs defense does look bad. They might need some improvement in the running game. Maybe look for trade rumors of Alvin Kamara or Breece Hall coming up. Okay. So we'll see some things come in Week 8 at the trade deadline. But definitely an interesting game there. And we'll move into our Week 6 picks here.
Week 6 picks.
And as always, I'll go to you first because you usually go first.
Well, we have to do them back and forth this week because I didn't look at them. So usually I cheat ahead and I make my picks, but last week 3-11. Wait, I said we weren't ever going to mention that again. So cut that out. Put my name on the top here. The Thursday night game, Philadelphia at the New York Giants. Well, I'm going to have to go for Philadelphia on that one. Like we said, they could look better, but it's the Giants. It is at the Giants. I'm not going to think too much about that one. Let's see. Denver at the Jets. I'll pick Denver. Rams at Baltimore for the reason we said earlier. Let's go with the Rams. Dallas, Carolina, Dallas. Arizona always wants to lose, and Indianapolis is looking so strong, so I'll go with them. Seattle, Jacksonville, what a win that was, but I go with Seattle. Chargers, Miami. Chargers, these seem easy this week. Cleveland, Pittsburgh. Cleveland. New England, New Orleans. New England. Tennessee, Las Vegas. Ooh, this is going to stump me. I always pick Las Vegas, so let's go with that again. Green Bay, Cincinnati. That's a Green Bay. San Francisco. Everybody's injured on San Francisco. How did they win last week? I have no idea.
Who knows how they won last week.
We'll go with Tampa Bay. Ooh, Kansas City, Detroit. Oh, that's going to be a good game, huh?
Yeah.
And it'll 8:20 game, so we get to watch the whole thing. Detroit is strong, though, and... Well, you never know what Kansas City's going to go. I'll go Detroit. Buffalo, Atlanta. The Bills could slip to Atlanta on this one. Well, got to go with the Bills. Chicago at Washington. We'll go with the Washington Commanders.
All right. I'm pretty similar to you.
You give more rationale than I did. I'm just ripping off.
Yeah, I got Philadelphia over the New York Giants. Even though it's at home against the New York Giants, I just don't think they're strong enough. Their run defense definitely isn't strong enough to stop Saquon Barkley. And it'll just be interesting to see what Jalen Hurts does tonight. I have the Broncos over the New York Jets. The New York Jets defense does not look good.
Oh, is that in London again?
And I believe, I think that is in London, 9:30. And I think Denver wins this one just from a better offense. They have all of their team is pretty much better than the Jets.
Yeah.
So that's pretty simple. I have the Los Angeles Rams beating the Baltimore Ravens. With so many injuries to the Baltimore Ravens defense and their offense as well, with Lamar Jackson being out, I just think the Rams have a strong enough defense and a very, very good offense to take this one by probably like 10 plus points. I have Dallas beating Carolina. That one will be interesting, but I just think Dallas has had a really, really good passing offense recently, and I think they'll continue that in Carolina. I have Indianapolis beating Arizona. Arizona, just like you said, doesn't really look like they want to win, and Indianapolis's offense has looked phenomenal.
I would put Indianapolis as one of the strongest teams right now. What do you think about that?
I would agree with that. I think it's Indianapolis and Buffalo probably. I have Jacksonville beating Seattle. This one will be close to me, but I just think Jacksonville looked good enough to beat Seattle. And I thought Seattle's defense was going to be good, but with the kind of stinker they let up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think Jacksonville will kind of squeak out this one, kind of similar to what they did with the Chiefs. I think they'll just get that one. That one's going to be close. I'll put like a little marking on that one to watch it. I have the Los Angeles Chargers beating the Miami Dolphins, and like we said, the Dolphins just don't look good in any capacity. And the Chargers have looked surprisingly bad in the past couple of weeks, but I think the Miami Dolphins are not a great team, so I think they get this one out. This one's a close one for me because
was tough. Yeah,
I'm always optimistic about Cleveland, and I think they are a good team, but I don't think Dylan Gabriel is good enough to kind of beat on this Pittsburgh defense, and it's good. It's in Pittsburgh. They have good home field advantage. I got Pittsburgh winning this game. Okay. I think this will be a defensive battle, like most of these games are. But I just think Pittsburgh is going to squeak this one out by maybe 3 points, maybe a 17-14 game, something like that. I have New England beating New Orleans. I just think New England looked pretty good against the Buffalo Bills, and the New Orleans Saints have a much worse defense than the Buffalo Bills. And Drake May looks good, so if he can continue that momentum, they'll be fine against New Orleans. That's a bad team. I have Las Vegas beating Tennessee. This one was really close to me. I know Geno Smith is really bad, but also it is the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans are still a bad team, even though they did beat the Arizona Cardinals. It was 22-6 going into the fourth quarter, so they could barely score until some mistakes happened, And I just think Las Vegas finally gets a win here, and Ashton Genty.
Well, they got Ashton Genty. Yeah, he's on an upswing now.
And I think, Ashton Genty will really be a focus of this game and be the striving point for the offense. I have Green Bay beating Cincinnati. It's at Green Bay, good home field advantage in that small town, Green Bay, Wisconsin. And Green Bay's defense, I hope it continues to be good because I picked them back up in fantasy, so I do hope they're good.
I was thinking about doing that.
But and I have Tampa Bay beating San Francisco. I think this is going to be a closer game than people think. But, like we said, the San Francisco 49ers are so injury-prone and injured. I saw a report, I think Brock Purdy's not practicing again today. And I just think the Buccaneers pulled this one out, but it'll be another close game like the Buccaneers usually have. The Detroit Lions beating the Kansas City Chiefs. This one's going to be close, but judging by the Lions' offense in the past couple weeks, the only team really to stop them was the Green Bay Packers. Yeah. So I just think the Detroit Lions will continue their good offense. Buffalo Bills beating the Atlanta Falcons. This one's going to be close because we are not good at defending running backs, and Atlanta has one of the best in the league with Bijan Robinson.
He's my number one on my fantasy team.
And I think it'll be a closer game than we would like. But
they were rested last week too, so they're back.
Yeah, and I think Buffalo
tanned, rested, and ready.
Yeah, I think Buffalo squeaks this one out barely. And this one was a close one to me. Chicago at Washington, because Washington is they've had Terry McLaurin out for a couple weeks here. But I think they'll continue. The emergence of Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt has proven something. I think that offense is just good enough to beat Chicago, who does have a really bad defense.
All right, good analysis, and we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes.
To be honest, these do look a lot easier than last week's, and I hope they fall our way, but we have no bragging rights anymore about any of these.
Yeah, no bragging rights, unfortunately, anymore.
Any other topics we should cover this week? Formula One? Nah. WNBA? No, I don't know anything about it.
A little bit of WNBA. I
Oh,
believe.
NBA preseason starting too.
Yeah, well, we'll just cover like some
Okay.
things quickly. Some NHL preseason, NBA preseason. I don't know who the WNBA finals. I know there's one. I know one team, the Las Vegas Aces. I think they're up 3-0 in that series.
Okay.
And they have one game to go, so that one's it's an interesting series. It's good that women's basketball is getting into mainstream. It's just great to see a sport like that because these women work pretty much. They work hard, and it's good to see the basketball skills finally getting popular.
It's gained a lot of popularity, and I think I'm going to tune in and start to learn a little more about it. And the same thing, like we've completely neglected our college football discussions as well. I keep meaning to tune into those a little bit more. Our other sports, just to expand a little more. But then again, we have a limited amount of time each week that
we do try to watch college football, but sometimes it is pretty stupid, like having like Alabama against like West Nottingham State or something like that, and it's like a 56-0.
97-3.
Yeah, and but sometimes college football does have some good games, and it's good to watch, like Penn State, Oregon, Alabama, Georgia. So you do watch those games, and maybe we'll expand our coverage later. But going into the NBA preseason, the Celtics have started playing. They had a couple starters in there yesterday: Jaylen Brown, Derek White. I think I saw Jaylen Brown drop 21 points, so that's pretty good to see. Yeah. And I think it's going to be a tough season for the Celtics, unfortunately, with Jason Tatum out. But I have heard encouraging reports that he might be back by January, and that's pretty impressive.
Well, that's a lot faster than they said.
Yeah, and it's really impressive, and I really hope Jason Tatum's okay, and the Celtics will be fine. The Bruins, I don't really follow hockey that much, but the Bruins were pretty bad last year. They did win a preseason game today or yesterday. I heard one of my classmates talking about it. So, yeah, I don't really have much insight on the Bruins, but hopefully...
Well, there's time, and we'll start to study that up.
Yeah, hopefully they can get back to form. Just a couple years ago, they were the best NHL team in history statistically, but that first-round exits, that was unfortunate.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And just really quickly into like a quick MLB off-season roundup on what I've seen from like the Red Sox. So a lot of analysts say Alex Bregman might leave the Red Sox and get out of that contract, which is strange to me because I definitely don't think he's going to get the amount of money we're paying him somewhere else. So hopefully he stays. Mm-hmm. But if he doesn't, I expect probably Marcelo Mayer going to be our third baseman for the full season then.
Okay.
And I saw a report that Craig Breslow, the Red Sox general manager, he says he does not want Tristan Casas as his first baseman next year. So last year they weren't willing to trade Tristan Casas to, I believe they were trying to get one of the young pitchers from the Mariners like Bryce Miller or Brian Wu, mm-hmm. and they wanted Tristan Casas, and we wouldn't give them Tristan Casas. But I think this offseason you'll definitely see it, and maybe we'll use that money to sign a guy like Pete Alonso. So that'll be exciting to see. MLB free agency starts right after the World Series. So, but that'll be it's always exciting to watch all those the off-season stuff and the winter meetings.
Yeah,
and
you're
all
really
that.
good, knowledgeable on that stuff, and keep me informed on any new goings on.
Okay, so that wraps up episode 6 of Andrew Sports Zone. Make sure to support BevCam by watching this video, giving it a like
and subscribe. We always forget to say the like and subscribe.
Also, our podcast can be found on Spotify, just searching Andrew Sports Zone, so you can add it there. Make sure to go to BevCam Sports Network and like all their videos, subscribe there, and always tune in because we love bringing that coverage to everybody who can watch. And this was episode 6, and thank you for watching. I was Andrew, and this is my dad, and we'll get episode 7 to you Wednesday and Thursday. We'll see you next time.